This On, Season 4, Episode 4, where we watched Marriage Rescue, Season 1, Episode 1. I'm Chris Lorenz.
I'm Brian Houston.
Noah Singer.
I'm Harrison Hoffman.
And this is James.
Ugh.
So
I know this is where we have 5 people that aren't married talking about this weird marriage. So like,
We are as qualified as the host.
oh, I don't know. Oh, all right.
Well, so I know like we bring this podcast to you every week with the title Who Put This On, but we never really say who put this on. And unfortunately I have to say that I put this on. Because last week as we were exploring through, I saw like the clip art for this and I was like, is that John Taffer? And then everybody's like, oh, that totally is. And then that solidified the decision for this week.
Then it didn't air yet. So
Right,
we
like,
had
so we
to
record
wait
it.
for it to air, or we would have watched it last week.
Are we in premiere month?
Ooh.
I don't
again?
think so.
When is premiere month?
It's like every other month. It seems like
You might have just kicked it off, James.
So-
Yeah.
It's either Love Month or Premiere Month.
It seems right. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, Harrison, give us a description of this show.
After helping countless bar owners turn their businesses around on Bar Rescue, John Taffer turns his attention towards couples on the verge of splitting up and uses his unorthodox approach to help them mend their relationships. That's Marriage Rescue on the Paramount Network, formerly known as Spike TV.
I was going to ask
Spike
you.
is now Paramount?
That's what I was just going to say we should get into.
Yes.
So we've done Spike TV show before, correct?
We've done Bar Rescue before, I believe.
Yeah. We've done Bar Rescue.
But the transition from Spike to Paramount happened at least a year or two ago.
This show
it's
makes
not
even
recent.
more sense now.
Why?
Because they just they went through a rebranding. They're like, oh, we're not Spike anymore. Now we're this Paramount. No, now instead of Bar Rescue, we got to do Marriage Rescue.
No, this is a long time ago. Like Paramount Network came into effect.
I think it was
a
last
decent
year.
bit.
Man, the
It
internet
says
corner
last year.
just burned the shit out of me.
All right, no,
I'll get back to you, but it's not recent.
Damn.
All right. So what the show is there's 2 couples. They come on this show, and their marriage is terrible, and they go through some weird challenges to try to bring their relationship to a better place. Essentially, just going on a vacation, and we get to see them do dumb things. It was not very entertaining. That's what the show was.
I like how Chris just slipped his opinion right into what the
Yeah.
show was.
The minutia
Like
is
it
supposed
was
to be
fact.
unbiased.
No. What the show is definitely biased. The description is not biased.
The show is very simple. It's Bar Rescue, but there's no bar, and there's marriages that are terrible
What?
instead of terrible bars. That's all. That's exactly what the show is.
No. This show is just garbage.
Straight garbage.
It's incredible. It's insane.
All right, so I'll go over briefly exactly what happens in this show. So we get you get intro to the couple and what their problem is. Then you go through a stress test to stress your relationship, and then you go through a relationship improvement exercise. Then you give promises on the beach. that for each couple, that's what happens.
And then your relationship is
Then
fixed
your
by John
relationship is
Taffer.
fixed.
Everything is mended.
So we've got 2 couples. I guess we'll just go one, but we'll just talk about Kelly and Mark right now.
Yeah.
Kelly and Mark, main couple. Kelly cheated on Mark years ago, and it's created a lot of resentment. And Mark does not trust Kelly. Very good reasons to trust her.
And specifically, she cheated on him with a coworker.
Yeah.
And now she continues to go out with her coworkers, happy hour, post work drinking, and her husband's not too happy about that whole situation.
But to add on, she's not responsive over text messages or phone calls when she's out getting drinks with coworkers.
right.
Twice a week.
Twice a week. So it adds to Mark's distrust of
But then
Kelly.
Mark is strangling her. Blah 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 blah.
Strangling her.
By texting her a million times and not
okay.
Emotional.
You have to be a
strangling.
little more cautious with those word choices, Chris. That's a very serious accusation.
responding. Theoretical strangling, not
Not
real,
physical
not
strangling.
physical,
Okay,
no.
just to be clear.
Just to be clear.
I don't think they'd show that on TV if it was.
Yeah. There's a high standard here. We gotta
High standard. Okay, I'll explain myself a little bit.
Paramount Network.
She feels strangled because he just always wants to know where she is. Then they did a stress test where they had to go through trust and honesty exercise, where they
Oh
did
my.
a scavenger hunt. I still don't understand what the scavenger hunt was or what happened.
Yeah, they had to like follow like the specific set of directions, but instead of like finding like something else the next thing, like they had to tell a secret at each thing.
Well, they found a thing, then they had to tell a secret at each one.
Yeah.
It was
Right,
like it was like a mini like Amazing Race kind of thing where they had to go to all these like navigate to all these different locations in the city and find their way around, and
So-
it was like designed to be like a stressful relationship kind of.
The premise actually made a little sense. It was going to find different secrets of Puerto Rico where they were, and then at each secret they found, they divulged a secret about each other. And
You know
it
what,
just did not play out
Do you
well.
remember one of their secrets, Noah?
They didn't show any when they were actually playing the game, which
They
was
No,
showed
they did.
two, and they
So-
were great.
I thought only after the game was over they shared secrets.
No,
No.
like I specifically remember like the final one. Like so the guy said like he had an escape plan, like a
Yeah.
plan to like get out of the when he got out of the marriage.
Well, hold
And
on,
then-
hold
No,
on.
no.
He spends a lot of time, searching for RVs and campers and things. And he
Oh,
spends a lot
that's
of time
what
on
it
the
was.
internet browsing stuff. He's got a search history on this, and he's been like checking stuff out. And his secret was the reason he's looking at all that stuff is it's his escape plan from her
Okay.
in case things go not good.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
did not even hear that. I just
have-
remembered hers, which was, yeah, my escape. I fantasize more about being without you than with you.
Yeah,
At which point Mark loses it.
he was not happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, who-
Who would be happy about that?
Yeah, no, deservedly so. Yeah, so these are the two secrets they show on the show.
No, there's another one.
Oh.
Kelly says at some point that one of the first secret is I want to have sex was one of her secrets.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if that helps you in any way, I don't know. There's nothing to talk about with these.
No,
So,
there's
like,
really not a lot of resolution.
yeah. So their relationship looks real bad after all these secrets.
Very
Anyway,
bad.
then they do a relationship improvement exercise. Noah, can you tell me what the relationship improvement exercise was?
They take him out in the water to go parasailing. For those that do not know what parasailing is, you go on a boat. They attach a parachute to you, and then the boat starts to speed away, and you just kind of float into air on the parachute attached to the boat.
I
Um,
was like,
You gotta
Good-
mention the rope. There's a rope.
Good clarification.
Yeah.
Good clarification.
You skipped the rope part. You were really crushing that description. That was perhaps one of the top descriptions I've heard of parasailing.
Oh, thank you.
But the absence of rope really dings a lot of
Well,
points.
I said attached to the boat, and so.
All right.
Yeah.
all right.
Anyway,
we can move on.
So, but the reason why John Taffer, the host of the show, thought this would be a good relationship improvement exercise is because Kelly would be afraid of. They didn't really say whether it was heights or parasailing in general, but that it would force Kelly to rely on Mark and to make him her stone, her rock.
reality was just like she got scared and she needed to like latch on to somebody, and Mark is there. We'll talk about the other one too, but it seems like this is like a motif of this relationship improvement exercise.
But here's the thing. I love how the show teased it up. There's, dramatic music playing. This is like it's a big aha moment, right? Like Taffer's figured it out. He's the hero. Like this show is really teeing it up. Like he has done something groundbreaking, like earth shattering. And I think Harrison said this during the show, which is, let me get this right. John Taffer just gets these people to go on vacation and then it solves the marriage problems.
Oh, definitely.
Right? Like basically that's what happens here. It was like, okay, for some reason counseling didn't work, but if these guys just went on a trip to Puerto Rico, get on this parasailing, it all works out.
It's basically like, okay, we're gonna do one activity that's designed to make you fight and hate each other, and then the TAF is gonna come in and give you a pep talk. And he's like, we're gonna try to do something to improve your relationship, and we're gonna see if it works. And then you go and do something that you cannot possibly screw up or have a bad time at, such as this parasailing situation, and then your relationship is magically fixed by John Taffer because you had a great time and a great vacation.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure this can blow up in their face.
I would be interested to see what the success rate is.
So that was curious. Did we clarify if the folks on the show are like for a season or like is this their episode and they're out?
I think
They're-
they're done.
This is
Oh.
their
Now.
episode and they're out.
I think it is bar rescue style.
Yeah.
He's gonna come in and fix your relationship in one episode.
Do you think that they film like 8 of these in a week?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
They
they're banging
could
out
do
a
so
lot.
many of these.
Because they're
All
like,
this was is they went parasailing. Like you could crank so many people
Well, they're-
through
so,
all these
like,
things.
we saw all these things and they were like day 6. This was their last day. And I was like, what happened to day 2 and day 3? What happened?
Yeah, they're pumping these out because like John Taffer actually has very little airtime, right? So the camera crew's there for like a week or two. Taffer's there for a week or two. They're pumping people.
Okay, I have a theory. I think that
Oh.
Paramount is just like going to Puerto Rico and then finding couples that are on vacation there and going, "Yo, you want to make an extra $500?" and then run them through the show.
Like, yeah, how
Like want a free parasailing adventure?
like how real is this relationship? Like, how real is this relationship problem? You think this-
I mean,
It seemed pretty real.
I will say it seemed real, but you bring up a good question, which is like
yeah.
there was no family or friends or like interviews or like photos of anything really. I feel like
You had that crazy like intro video, which you could easily film in just like a random house in there.
that is true. There was an intro video at a house
Yeah. So they did have the photos, you know.
that, you know, presumably this is a real
that they
like,
shot
couple.
before they grabbed these couple
I
off
mean,
the
it-
beach in Puerto Rico.
It can't be that expensive. I'm sure you're just like, hey,
Just put
come
an
to
ad
Puerto Rico. We'll give you free room and board.
right.
Just be
You
on
get
the
7
show.
nights Puerto Rico. You'll be on TV maybe.
Yeah.
It's
That-
definitely cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess the last thing they do on the show is there's Promises on the Beach, where John Tafford comes out as, you know, the priest at a wedding and it's like, give me your vows, aka your promises. And Mark is like, I promise to trust you when you say that you're doing something instead of just not trusting you. That seems like a good step. And then Kelly was like, I'll respect you, was her promise. And I was like, that's very non-concrete. Way to go. It's good promises.
So who thinks Mark and Kelly will last?
No.
I don't really give a fuck.
I think they're already a fine couple. Like they're just faking it.
Oh.
I mean, I don't think so. There seemed like a lot of anger going on. They're either good actors or this is like not a good relationship.
I think that couples can like fake fight. I think they can make it happen.
That's fun. You have your opinion. I don't know. Harrison, what do you got for us?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like they're great for each other, but they might figure out a way to make it work. We'll see.
I mean, they don't.
I
have
mean,
kid-
I mean,
Yeah,
we
I don't know
probably
what the
won't
stakes
see.
are.
they
Right.
don't really
Like,
mention if they have kids. So like,
No,
they don't mention anything about any kind of family.
No,
Right.
I don't think they had kids because the other couple they do mention
yeah,
as
I
kids.
mean, they
Yeah.
mention it, but like that doesn't mean that it's not like.
Totally.
The other thing is, let's be clear, John Taffer is not fixing shit. Like
Yeah.
even all the bars that he fixed, like most of them like had to go back, right? Like
I mean,
they
like,
failed.
that-
Oh man, where's Internet Corner on this one? Of the John Taffer bars,
Oh, man.
what percent are still in operation?
Oh, this is gonna be a deep one.
that is
Goodbye,
that,
Noah, for a while.
I'm sorry, Noah.
that is the real thing about these kinds of shows, whether it's, you know, somebody coming in and rescuing like a bar or a hotel or a restaurant or like a house or like whatever this kind of show is, where they come in and there's like, we got 48 hours to fix this awful situation that's been created. Like they do just enough to make it look okay on TV and look like they solved the problem and like put like a fresh coat of paint on things. But everyone knows that, you know, there are more core problems to these situations than they can come in and just solve in 2 days. And like I think there's no different here. You cannot solve these people's relationship problem in 2 days with three pep talks from John Taffer, one date.
This
You
is
can't
7.
do it.
This is 7 days. We only saw 3 conversations though.
You cannot do it.
You got to say you can't do it in like the John Taffer style. You can't do it.
You can't do it. It cannot be done.
Not even the great John Taffer.
This is like, so these people claim they've gone to marriage counseling, and I'm like, so no marriage counselor told you to like trust. So we'll talk about like trust. You need to trust each other. And they just don't trust each other is really the core of this relationship. You're telling me a marriage counselor couldn't figure out how to get these two to trust each other? Like, what kind of shitty marriage counselor are you going to? Like, how is this going on vacation and having John Taffer make it seem like you can try, you like even give a fuck to try?
Do you think the Paramount had a beginning show and then like they tried to fix it, but then they brought in John Taffer for this one?
This is the John Taffer fixing the Paramount. That would be good. I don't know. It's fucking nuts.
I
don't
mean,
know.
there's a version of the show where you get, you know, the best marriage counselor or whatever, some sort
Oh,
of
yeah.
Dr. Pepper situation. But like, is that something people are gonna watch?
There's definitely other marriage like boot camp shows.
Right. And that's the thing. I think that's what's different about this show and what puts it in a separate bucket.
Is
right?
it a
Like,
separate bucket?
well, it's at least if you're gonna get into like these marriage kind of shows, like recovery shows, I'm sure there's already a bunch of them, right? And like they're doing whatever. But maybe this is gonna grab a different audience.
This is just such a fluff piece that they want on air for fucking nothing. Like no one's ever gonna sit down and watch this show.
I
It's just a show that's just on,
Yeah.
and people are okay with it.
I
Oh, yeah.
do not understand who the audience for this show is. Like who is going to watch this show?
No idea.
So
I think it's the bar rescue crowd that is struggling with their marriage.
yeah, it's definitely like
You
just
think?
marriage.
So-
Yeah, they're like, oh man,
You
this
think-
is John
okay.
Taffer show. Oh,
So
check it out.
okay, so you think you're hanging out at home with your wife who you're in like a troubled
It
marriage
doesn't
with?
even have to be trouble to be clear. You could just be
And
well,
you're
like,
like-
one. There's the John Taffer fan. So anybody that's like into
Is
John
there
Taffer,
John Taffer?
you're gonna watch the show.
Got Taffer Nation.
You got Taffer
locked
Nation
in.
locked in. So then you're looking, okay, what else? And you're like, people that are watching Spike TV come across the ad for the show as Brian did. And I'm like, okay, let's check this thing out. And so there's that audience.
This is the
and then
only
there's the marriage recovery people are like, oh, there's a new marriage recovery show with who's this John Taffer guy? And then they meet Taffer Nation and get wild.
Okay, here's the problem with this though. I think if you're somebody who is a Bar Rescue fan, you're gonna watch one episode of the show and be like, "This is terrible. This is not what like. I actually like Bar Rescue. This show is a bunch of nonsense. Like,
Whoa, spoilers.
spoilers for the ratings, but it's not good. It's like you're either like you're coming in from Bar Rescue, and you're definitely not gonna like the content of this show, or you're coming in from these other marriage shows, and you're gonna be like, who is this clown trying to fix these people's marriage in 2 days? By taking them on a date and giving them 3 pep talks.
This is definitely you're scrolling through cable and you're like, oh, what is this show? And you pop it on, and or you're like in a bad marriage and you're like, oh, let me watch this. Maybe we can get on this show and be like this like Puerto Rican vacation and like, you know, I don't know. There is no good audience for this.
Yeah.
Hence, I don't, you know, this is S1E1. Who knows?
Can we talk about John Taffer's qualifications to be hosting like,
Anything?
a marriage couples therapy, marriage therapy show?
It's horrendous.
It's
There is
frightening.
there is no
It
qualifications.
is
from what I can
actually
tell.
frightening that there are these couples who are trapped in Puerto Rico for a week with John Taffer taking his advice on their marriage.
It's terrible.
Did you actually find a success rate?
Yeah, so I found an article, mash.com, so debatable how trustworthy it is.
Match.com?
Mashed.
Mashed.
Like mashed potatoes.
Ah.
They said a quarter of the bars failed when accounting for the first 3 seasons of Bar Rescue. But also they go into like a lot of bars don't stick to what Taffer recommends because a lot of it is like remarketing the bar in a different way. And then obviously people be like, well, I don't want to do that shit.
I don't want to be this mixology bar. I want to be a biker bar.
Yeah.
No, like, it's
basically.
not. It's not. the vibe.
I've definitely seen an episode where they changed their bar into like an alcohol vapor bar. Like, who the fuck wants to do that?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But he did the
yeah.
research, and 23% of the up and coming people, whatever. It doesn't
Guess
matter.
what? Now you're a club.
The big tangent, though, and probably would put John Taffer on the map. So, John Taffer is a bit responsible for NFL Sunday Ticket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, y'all already know this.
it is known.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Okay, no, but you should
Let the
Yeah.
audience know.
So, there was a company that had an idea on, hey, we can show out of market NFL games. But would there actually be a market to consume these? And so they approached Taffer. Taffer said, yeah, I think there's a bar opportunity for this. And so Taffer kind of found the right bars to host these out-of-market games. And they actually created the NFL Sunday Ticket. So TLDR, you can thank
thanks
John
to Taffer.
Taffer.
I can now watch games across the country.
He even worked on the advisory board for NFL Entertainment for a few years.
Yeah, no one would have thought that would work.
Was that before or after he was inducted into the Nightclub Hall of Fame?
Unclear.
Inducted or founder?
I think he is founder and first inductee in the Nightclub Hall of Fame.
Isn't Little John the first one though?
I mean, he's definitely in it. I don't know if he's the first one.
No, it's John Taffer and Lil Jon
Are the co-founders
are the
of
co-founders and first members of the Nightclub Hall of Fame, I think.
Has the Nightclub Hall of Fame actually taken off yet? Because like we couldn't even find any information. Like, didn't they have it in like Vegas or something? Like the induction?
Oh yeah, it's definitely
Where else would you have the Nightclub Hall of Fame, Brian?
I don't know, but like,
You
we couldn't
throw
even
it out there like Vegas does not have
we
a
couldn't
shit
even find
ton
like
of
much
great-
information on this.
Yeah, but
There
like you
is
say,
no
like, Vegas
information.
is
It's a
random.
website.
Like, I'll give you if it was in the middle of, I don't know, Wyoming. I'm not thinking of nightclubs. Sorry, Wyoming, but I'm not thinking of you for nightclubs.
So I don't think he was, but prior to getting to his deal for NFL Sunday Ticket, he did win a, quote, whole bunch of Sports Bar of the Year awards. Unclear who gives out Sports Bar of the Year awards, but he won them.
Yeah.
sounds like he's good at marketing himself.
He seems like he's very good at marketing himself.
All right. Should we talk about our second couple here?
Let's go into it.
Holy shit, we didn't talk about that yet.
yeah.
Oh,
It's been like 10 minutes, Brian. Give us a break. Talk about Shaniqua and Barrington.
Barrington.
Barrington? Barrington cheated early on in the relationship. They have 2 kids together, and Barrington had a daughter before the marriage. Yeah, that's kind of all I've got on their like initial relationship.
Yeah.
Anything else to talk about there?
they were both the same goddamn problems. Like in the end.
Yeah, it's like they cheated, and then the person that was cheated on just doesn't trust the cheater, which seems a good reason to break up that relationship exactly when that happened, instead of just like ignoring it for years, which seems very odd.
But that Puerto Rico vacation, though.
Let's create all this tension and pain for ourselves for years so we get this Puerto Rican vacation and meet John Tafford.
The one thing I didn't like though in both the relationships, they didn't say when like the cheating happened.
It seemed like it was a while ago.
Right, but they don't clarify, so you don't know
Yeah.
how long this has been.
It's in the past.
Right, which seems like a pretty critical detail to understand the psyches of the people.
This show does not care to give you any understanding about what's going on.
What is the aim of the show?
Nothing. There is the aim of the show is to be on the TV.
It's just
It is a, hey, is your marriage bad? You want to go on a 7-day Puerto Rican vacation? Ad. Like, all
All right,
right.
let's start tapping here. All right, so
Their
what do they do?
Their
What do they do?
stress test, which they also have problems with trust and honesty. They go paintball. They play paintball together, and they like get mad at each other for not listening to each other. I'm very confused.
It exposes their poor communication.
definitely designed to be a stressful situation on their communication for sure.
That said, the guy is in the military.
Oh yeah.
So that was kind of an interesting choice that didn't play out at all in the paintball exercise.
Well, you're supposed to ignore it. I
Yeah,
guess.
but like, but I kind of think that's part of the reason why it went the way that it did, because he's in the military. He's like trying to like tell her, hey, go this way, follow me around, whatever. And she's like, I'm not just listening to you all the time, like whatever.
He's giving all the hand signals, like go around,
Yeah.
like,
She's like
10 hand signals. She's like, oh, let me just walks the other way.
She's like, I never learned the SWAT hand signals. It's
gotta take those classes. So then their relationship improvement exercise was skydiving,
Yeah.
which is an odd one to do because you can't skydive together, really.
Yeah, they weren't tethered together. They just kind of went.
Can you triple? So like usually when you like aren't a professional skydiver or certified or whatever, you have to go tandem, right?
Yeah, you
Like,
have
if
to go tandem.
You
unless
go
you
like
license.
double tandem, like
Sandwich?
you're like some kind of sandwich.
Maybe.
Who's in the middle there?
Yeah, do you want to be in the middle of that
I don't know.
skydiving sandwich?
Maybe
Yeah.
it's like a triangle.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't. I've never seen it, but maybe. Like I don't
I'm
see
just
why
curious,
not.
how's
No,
that?
there's just no reason for that. Like,
Can you
plenty
go
of people
three
will
wide?
like strap themselves to you and just
All
like
right, we can Noah go to the internet corner. I guess like can't.
research
to the
skydiving
corner.
rules. Research
All right,
skydiving.
To close out on the Spike TV and Paramount network, it happened in January 2018.
Ah, okay. The other internet corner update is John Taffer is not the founder of the Nightclub Hall of Fame, but merely a member.
I did see.
While Little John is one of the original people,
Okay.
but it's like a group of like
Just,
6
like,
people.
Don't give this thing any more attention.
No, that's all it is. Done. We're out. I was giving the Taft too much praise. He's
But, like,
just a member, nothing more.
But if they want to give us tickets to the next induction ceremony, we would come and cover it.
We will definitely mention the Nightclub Hall of Fame way more if if we're invited.
And
sure.
rolling
Hey,
back
To be
skydiving,
clear, the Who
it's-
Put This On crew will sell out.
Yeah.
We'll do live shows. We'll do anything.
it seems very unlikely that 3-person skydiving is a thing. There's not even one image on Google image of it.
Wow.
So
Wow.
not a thing.
There you go.
So the comparison between skydiving and this parasailing thing is like people were very scared while doing it. Mostly the like wives in the situation, and they were like leaning on their husbands to like give them strength, which I kind of like. That's like the one aspect of this I think actually worked.
Whoa.
Oh boy. I'm like this is strike two. I feel like you can't. I don't know, man.
Strike
I
two
don't
on
I
what?
think this is okay. They were just painting this like stereotypical.
I mean, they
like,
did. I think that there
image
is something
and,
to
like,
say
I
about
don't
going
know.
through a scary experience with somebody.
But
That's why people like
the
horror
whole-
movies.
The whole thing of like
To say
the
that
wife has to get scared and fall into the husband's arm, and he's the strong one.
I'm not.
It's so like
This
I
is-
don't know.
this
Actually,
is
I
the
kind of feel like
show.
this is like Steve Harvey shit. Like Steve Harvey's been gotten yelled at for like this same type of stuff, and I didn't realize it. Holy crap!
The thing is,
John Taffer.
you're right.
Harvey.
It is a stereotype. but
Are we
this is
having
how
our
the
Me
show-
Too moment on the show?
Oh man.
This is how the show was filmed. I don't know what to tell you. It could be the other way around. We didn't see it that way.
Chris, you're against the wall right now. I
Look,
feel
you
for you.
can tweet at me, whatever.
I will have to say though, I don't think we should extrapolate to like this is what's being set up versus just how these couples operate. And if they saw that she wanted to rely on him, then they put him in a situation where that could happen.
right.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to say that every couple would be this way. So you're trying to imply, James?
I don't know why you're trying to dig the hole again. Noah really just dug us right out of it, and you just were like, "Oh no, let's
Well,
jump
you
back
dug
in
me
deep
into the
end of that
hole, and
pool."
then he's just like digging me over.
No, he dug us cleanly out. See, as a host, I feel like you really gotta just know to ride that
You know,
wave.
John Tafford said, "Fear is the hardest thing in life to overcome." Okay,
The best quote.
so this is bringing out the
He
fear.
said, fear is one of the hardest things in life to overcome. It's just so weird.
So give me a break.
You actually can overcome fear.
All fear.
I'll go in a rabbit hole. So there's 4 basic human emotions: anger, sadness, fear, and happiness. And so you will always have some type of fear as part of you. A little learning lesson for everyone on the pod.
Yeah.
All right. The class of Noah. So then there was like
That's Professor Noah.
Professor.
Professor Noah.
Yes.
at some point, I think after this, sorry, I can't remember anyone's name. Shaniqua was given through Barrington's phone because there was a big issue in this
Oh
thing.
my god.
And I was just like, how is a marriage counselor not recommending that? Like
This moment was so fucking crazy. They basically John Tafford turns to Barrington and goes, he's like, I know how to solve the relationship problem that you're having right now. The only way to progress forward in your marriage is for you to give your phone password to Shaniqua so she can look through your phone and make sure that you're not doing anything. That's such a crazy thing for a marriage counselor to recommend.
High wire act.
That's crazy.
You think that's a crazy thing for them to recommend?
I know it's
That's
a
what I was gonna say.
crazy
This is a very
thing for them to
divisive
recommend.
like thing. Like
Yeah.
I mean, no, I know it definitely would be. There's like trust on both sides here.
there's
That's
gonna
like
be a
hard.
lot of opinions on this
Yeah.
one. I feel like.
Yeah, it's usually not healthy to coerce someone into being more open. You usually want to invite them into a safe space to be open. I would say that
This is
not a good
Noah's
tactic.
marriage counseling corner update.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not
I'm
a
like,
very-
we gotta dare. We
Like,
can't be giving the marriage advice.
This is
on
an incredible move by the TAF because if she
buy the tap.
by the TAF because if she goes in that phone and finds that
It makes great
and
TV.
finds something
I
that's
don't
like
understand why this is a bold move by Taft.
no, I'm
It
saying
either works out amazingly
No,
or it
I
turns
didn't
out like,
say-
oh, there's nothing.
I didn't say it was bull. I said it's an incredible move by him because either way it turns out it's going to be great TV. Like either he looks like he's like, oh yep, see now I saved a relationship because now you can trust him. So there's nothing going on there. It's like or like oh man he's still cheating on you. Let's
Oh.
blow this up right here.
Man, like the show like could not have felt more like a Dr. Phil episode than in this moment.
Dr. Phil.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
I don't
like this is definitely some kind of Dr. Phil shit.
I definitely think
Brian,
that like
Brian gets it. You guys,
Yeah.
you're not with it.
Dr. Phil does like some crazy ass shit and like calls out people for something like calls out people in the worst way.
does he?
Oh, that was also something that happened like in the intro part. We didn't even talk about that.
know what you're talking about.
Bring it up.
So, but when they arrive in Puerto Rico, John Taffer, in typical bar rescue fashion, wants to observe everything
Oh, yeah.
in their natural habitats because
Before you show up, you got to know what's wrong.
This
Right.
is why I say
And-
the show is like Bar Rescue. He
Nick-
does the same like sequence of things. He's got to do his recon. Brian's onto something.
yeah, but see, here's the thing: John Taffer is like holding this like fucking remote, and it basically looks like he's piloting a drone, and the camera is so close that there's no way that they couldn't see the camera.
Well,
So how could they not be acting?
two
That
different
is-
things, right? Like there's one where they definitely know the camera's there, and there's a crew and there's a mic, right? So, but my guess is the premise. They said, "Hey, we're just gonna tape you, and this will be like B-roll. We might use it." They don't know that Taffer's actively watching it.
Like this is one of the incredible things about like Bar Rescue also because that like they set that up the same way and they're like looking at like secret security cameras that are like in the bar and like the people would very clearly be able to see these cameras that are in there and it's this whole setup situation like how would they have been able to install the cameras without telling the people first.
Yeah, he's
But
not
the-
breaking
yeah.
into every bar that he's going to save.
Exactly.
Well, I'm saying, but like this isn't this like known as well? Like it's come out that like the people that have been on the show have said like, yeah, like we like it's all like fake. Like
Yeah.
all of the Bar Rescue shit is all just staged.
oh yeah.
Great. This is supporting my theory that he's just like going to get some couples in Puerto Rico.
I mean, it really does. We legitimately have no reason to believe anything John Taffer's involved with. Like,
No.
like based on like it's great TV. Like I'm not saying it's not a like
Whoa,
Bar Rescue's
whoa,
not a
whoa,
fun
whoa,
show.
whoa. Call bullshit
Oh,
on that
yeah,
one.
sure. Let me.
We'll
Can
go
we
to
get that? Oh man.
Spoilers.
Bar Rescue is fun, especially because he
It's
is
a fun
an
show.
expert on this stuff. Like he says some things, you're like, oh, that's kind of interesting.
He's coming from a real base of knowledge in the bar and nightclub industry,
Yeah.
but it just doesn't look like his heart's in it when he's doing this marriage counseling. Like,
Oh,
I just
what?
don't like.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
What do you mean?
I think he's like his heart's totally in it. He's getting the money. He
No.
has no qualifications for this.
But like, I don't know. It's just
John Taffer just wanted to go on a vacation to Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
No, this is a Paramount Network ordering. He like ordered more Bar Rescue and an expansion on the rescue.
Oh man, is the next season of Bar Rescue all in Puerto Rico as well? Because
I
that
don't
would
know.
just make sense.
I just was looking up. I wanted to see the ratings of the show. I couldn't
John
find any.
Taffer's Bar Rescue season 31. It's called Island Hopper.
So, let's close out on what happens in Barrington
Ah, I mean,
and Shanika's
like,
relationship.
there was
Who
some sort of
cares?
promise thing, and they were like literally reading off a piece of paper. It sounded like they were getting their like wedding vows renewed.
It's at
And-
this point, it's like a mixology bar. You're like, okay, he's doing the mixology thing again.
or he's setting up a situation that's very tenuous here.
You need fresh fruit to put in the drinks.
like the one was just like, I promise to trust you, and like the other one was like, Barrington. I didn't even know what he promised. He promised nothing. Like it was just like empty words, and I was like, okay, there's not even anything to write down.
The show is a 3.8 out of 10 on IMDb.
Who?
Out of 6 ratings.
Is that all? Do we all rate that?
Is it? We are about to
I'm-
be able to tip the scales here.
I am definitely going to vote this now.
All right, Brian, give me a rating. Let's do it. Let's get
yeah.
this.
Oh, are we not? Oh, hold on. Okay,
Hold the phone.
we can do ratings, but I have a larger topic about this show after
Okay,
ratings.
Let's get the ratings.
Yeah,
We've already pretty much
We were
talked
in the
about it.
IMDb.
I have a
segment, we got
Taffer
it.
topic also.
Okay.
Okay.
I've made a note that this is probably gonna be the worst show of this season already. Like I'd put money on that right now.
Oh, can we place a bet on that right now?
Yeah, dollar bet.
No, let's do a shotgun bet. If it's
Okay.
your worst show of the year,
Wait,
then I'll shotgun. And if it's not your worst show of the year, then you have to shotgun.
okay. As long as it doesn't
Can we
involve actual
explain the
shotguns.
shotgun bet to the audience?
Wait, can we also
Because I
define-
want to be clear if we're
Yeah.
shooting things.
We're
drinking beers.
shotgunning a beer.
Okay.
Can we also define what year means? Just the season?
Season.
Okay. Do we
I
know
mean,
when?
it's usually like 50
50 episodes from now.
50 episodes.
It'll be an increment of
So
25.
you think out of the next 50 episodes we watch, well, 47, 48, whatever.
Absolutely do.
Wow. Okay.
Man,
We'll
Brian-
check in on
Brian
that in
Nicken-
about a year and a half. And see.
Please tweet at us about when that happens because you're not going to remember. Rob, write that down. Noah, what's your rating?
I don't think this will be the worst show. It'll be very low. So I'm putting it in the bottom, middle of the bottom, just to leave some room for
Some
stuff to go underneath.
Harrison, what do you got for me?
This is absolutely a bottom third show. I mean, I think that, one, you've got John Taffer, who has an interesting personality for reality TV, but has no real qualifications for being a marriage
Trust the
counselor.
process, Harrison.
Although, as I say this, I guess I'm realizing that people like Mark L. Wahlberg also no real qualifications. So there's kind of some similar vibes there. Man, I don't know. It was terrible. Like, it's not interesting. I don't know who it's for. It's not a situation in which Taffer can be Taffer. Like, you need to set him up in a situation where he can start popping off, and like being a marriage counselor is not really conducive to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To build on, I just give it a quick bottom because, well, it's been obvious throughout the pod. Just it is so odd they have John Taffer giving marriage counseling, and throughout the show he has one trick. He keeps saying it's about trust, and that is the only tool he's got. He's got a hammer, everything's a nail, and I am very curious to see how the show proceeds. There's only 6 episodes. To see if Taffer's able
Are
to
you
pull out
going
any
to
more
watch
tools.
any more?
If I can, maybe. I don't have cable, so we'll see.
I can't imagine this is going to do well.
James, what's your rating?
I mean, here's the thing, right? There's a lot of badness with the show. I'll make it quick, though. I actually kind of don't care, and I thought it was kind of a funny thing. I'm going to put this in the bottom of the middle. It is not going in the bottom third. I think there's a lot of worse shit.
There's absolutely no way this should be anywhere close to the middle.
Wow.
I mean,
Alright.
I know that I'm going against the grain here, and you can all freak out, but I'm just saying, I think this show, if you're like, you can't take it for real, like there's no qualifications, blah, blah, all the things discussed, all the things said, right? But like, I just kind of look at it and like, oh, okay, it's just a joke. And it's just like, you're along for the ride. It's very light. I didn't really get invested deeply. It's a thing that I could watch in passing. It's like, I think it's just the show that's on while things are happening. You're killing time, you're chit chatting with other people or whatever. And it's like, there's so much other worser things in my opinion that this show didn't it didn't rub me that negative. Like, yeah, it's not great and it's not very good in all the reasons we discussed, but I don't think it's in the bottom.
I respect the opinion. I need more detail on how is a show about marriage counseling light.
Marriage counseling light?
You said the show is very light.
Yeah.
The topic's about like rough marriages.
Oh yeah. No, but that's the thing is it's like they don't give you all of the like gritty details to really get super invested in these people or anything. So it's light from the realm of I could see like the Mark and whatever story, and then like I don't even care about the other one. I can tune out, whatever, move on to something else. It doesn't matter. Like it's like you don't get super hooked in. It's light from that regard. I agree the topics are real, but it's not presented in such a heavy format where you're like really getting in. Like you could, like I said before, there's a version of the show where you get legitimate qualified people and do all that, and that's where to me it just becomes heavy and like more too serious and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, the show's not trying to do that, and so for those reasons, I say it's light.
Fair.
I mean, like
Very fair.
the cycle of these kinds of shows is definitely like it just gives you every episode gives you like this quick hit of like you watch them come in and like make someone's situation better, and like every episode is just like that little quick hit of that feeling, and that's
That's all it is. And you're
what
like,
it
okay,
is.
I'm like, yeah, there you go.
Well, there you go. I was a contrarian last week. You're the contrarian this week.
Gotta keep it interesting.
Yeah, it's a bottom third. I like checked out almost immediately. I was like, I don't care about these two couples. You're not doing anything interesting with their relationships. This is not real. They go home. Everything's going to be the same. Why am I watching this? John Taffer is terrible. Like, I do not like Bar Rescue. I do not like this show. So, bottom third.
If you don't like Bar Rescue, there's definitely no chance of like.
But
even
like,
giving
John
it a shot.
Taffer's not even in the show. Like, he's like fucking no
He's
one.
a teaser.
He's like nothing. He's in the show for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I have Max's rating as well.
Oh, let's
Max
get
Max
it.
was in. He had to go do some work, so he was not here.
Work out.
He had to go work out after Meat Fest, which I still got to say is very impressive. So we got some meats barbecued up, well, grilled up. It wasn't a barbecue
Yeah.
pit, as we've learned.
Yeah.
But yeah, Max ate a lot of meat and then went to the gym.
And s'mores he ate.
Oh, he did get a couple s'mores.
He had a full meal.
That's why I needed to work out. He says borderline bottom of the bottom. So,
Yeah.
but he's going middle of the bottom.
Okay.
So there's the ratings.
So we had two nota benes. Harrison Hoffman, you want to go first?
Well, sorry, say that again.
Two postscripts, PSs.
Oh
And the
yeah.
nota bene is like a fancy PS.
Okay.
It's like a bodega. People are like, what?
Welcome to Noah's
Excuse me?
Learning Corner.
Yeah.
So we have Bar Rescue, and now we have Marriage Rescue. So we're really expanding the rescue universe. So I think that we should help out Destination America and come up with some ideas for some other things that John Taffer could be rescuing. What do you guys
I
think?
got one.
Holy shit! This is
Got
the
one.
exact same thing I was
Same
gonna bring
topic?
up. Yeah.
Oh.
I got it. Casino boats.
Okay, casino boats.
Very specific, James.
Not just casinos. Casino boats.
Dude, I
Okay.
can see John Taffer cruising down the Mississippi and then just going all these like casino boat things and
They're
just
like-
like getting like, nah, I've done the research. This market is a bunch of, farm town. They want these types of slot
If you
machines.
go
and they need these
22
type of-
knots, then you.
This is the perfect spear. Yeah.
I have one. Here you go. Tattoo Rescue.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
So
Where does he come in? Yeah.
So Taffer comes in and does the.
he like
The
helps
dirt?
you fix up your tattoo.
So
Does
he
he come
bad
in
tattoo.
after how far is Tattoo Far?
No,
Can
no.
it be like a combo
It could be-
episode?
It could be after that. But I mean, the show already exists. Like the bad tattoo cover-up show. He's just like going into that market with Tattoo Rescue.
Yeah, so I mean, because with the tattoo concept, there's several points of entry, right? He could fix a tattoo shop.
No.
Right,
He's
he can-
fixing
He could.
people.
Noah's right. He could.
I'm just saying he's fixing
Yeah,
tattoos.
yeah, but he's
on
fixing
people.
tattoos. I'm gonna throw one out there. He fixes the presidency. He goes into the Trump
Oh.
administration
Presidency.
and he goes in and just yells at all the people for Trump, though. So, like how Trump yells at everyone, but usually over Twitter and whatever else, we just see John Taffer embody the tweets and go up to everyone in the cabinet and yells at them for doing their job.
So he's working for Trump as his yeller?
Basically, yeah.
Oh my God.
I can legitimately see this as a TV show now, and I'm scared.
I mean, maybe he could just be coming into Congress trying to get them all to figure out how to work together. We got to set your personalities
I have
aside.
another one. Farm Rescue.
Farm Rescue's good. I like
Wait,
Farm
no,
Rescue.
but what is farm rescue? Like
Farm Rescues goes to these failing farms and figures out how to make it go. It's literally the same show as Bar Rescue but Farms. I don't know how you don't get this.
Someone should definitely make Farm Rescue.
Right.
It is not John Taffer, but someone should make Farm
think it's
Rescue.
John Taffer.
Yeah, that'd be great. If it
But he
was.
needs like a farm expert that actually knows
Yeah.
about farm
Does he?
science.
Does he? Noah,
You
on
need
a,
the farm science segment.
on a similar note to Noah's, a place that really needs help, Venezuela Rescue.
Oh my
Ve-
God.
Venezuela needs a lot of help. I'm not
the
sure.
country or
Yeah.
just the whole country.
the
Got
whole
it.
country needs a lot of help.
I don't know what that show looks like, but
I don't know what that show is either, but if John Taffer's offering to rescue people,
I think the basic premise is anything that's very complicated and hard to figure out, send in John Taffer. 10 minutes later,
Yeah.
it's all solved.
How about like water park rescue, where he comes into your failing water park and
And then he
figures
rides
out
the
what to
water
do.
slides.
He just rides all the water slides. He's like, it's not scary enough over here.
Oh,
More loop de loops.
I feel like that has the same problem as the casino one, whereas there are like two. Like there's like an episode.
You wouldn't have enough for sure.
What about malls? There are a lot of failing malls out
the
there.
mall rescue would be good. That would be a good. That was same format. I like that idea. How about movie rescue? He comes in after you film the movie, and before the reshoots, he comes in to like helps you with reshoots and like figuring out, yelling at people like, "Hey, you did this wrong. Color correct this."
Building on that idea, theater rescue takes the actual Cineramas. Well, sorry, not Cinerama. That's already good. But, failing movie theaters turns them around. He's like, you need the bar, you need the mixology, you need the oxygen tanks and the 4DX.
You need the alcohol.
I can't believe John
You-
Taffer hasn't invented 4DX.
So where I thought that you were going with theater rescue, which I think also could be a good idea, is where like people are trying to get ready for like a Broadway play or something, but it's not going great. So Taffer comes in and takes over at the helm and starts coaching these people in a Broadway musical.
Yeah.
How about that one?
John Taffer definitely qualified to direct a theater production.
He, as far as I'm concerned, he's qualified to do anything in 48
Right.
hours.
Okay, I got it, guys.
So-
I got it.
oh,
I got
oh,
the
yeah.
ultimate. The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh,
Yeah.
Can he
Ooh.
fix it?
He's already got the NFL connections.
sports team rescue.
So I actually have one show. I think this is actually legitimate. Corporate rescue. It's not company wide, but he goes to different teams in a business that are dysfunctional. Because that actually, like, when he does on bar rescue, it's like team based coaching.
He's
For
gonna
sure.
do install some cameras, watch the footage, like,
Right.
here's what's going on.
This dude's
I'm gonna set
watching
up a stress
YouTube.
test.
This dude's watching YouTube.
It's like,
fire
what-
him.
Why did
You
you
gotta
yeah.
stop watching so much YouTube. It's
Yeah.
just
Why did you send them the somewhat smiley emoji responding to them? Why not the full smiley emoji?
Look, when you send a message on Slack, you can't just say "Hey" and then wait. Send your actual request.
When we don't put hi in front of a person's name when you message them, it comes off as rude and curt. Just put hi John, comma. It comes off a lot nicer.
All right, I think that's enough, guys.
I have a quick update.
I was going to ask if you had an update,
I
James.
do.
What
I
is
want
your
to
update?
update my rating
Oh,
from a
we're
previous
talking about-
week's show.
oh boy.
Oh,
If this goes
boy.
to top, I'm gonna lose my shit.
It's this. No, it's definitely not this show. But Diesel Brothers, I've got to say, is moving up.
Moving
It's out
up.
of the middle and it's into the top.
Welcome,
Wow.
Yeah.
welcome to the club.
It's in the top.
Is-
As
is
the
it-
tires have been raised, so has the show.
You know,
So wait, you took my idea and you gave it a higher rating?
I pumped some more air in it. That show, like, here's the thing: it's a lot like the Finding Sasquatch show for me, where the amount of fun that I've had since watching that show and just discussing it, and like I've been sending snaps of construction equipment around Seattle. It's been a lot of fun, and I happened to see the episode that we should have watched, which was a monster truck jumping over a plane that was in flight. Very fun show.
I mean, I've seen a couple episodes. It's very fun. It's like funny. The people in the show are legitimately funny, and like they're doing crazy stunts. It's great. Like very
It's great.
confused why it's not in the top third.
Yep.
So
I
welcome
don't know
to the
what I was
club.
thinking. I think I got distracted by some other naysayers that night.
There's a lot of naysayers on last week's.
So I'm in the
podcast.
top club on that one now.
There seems to be like we talked about the bus in that episode.
I think the fact that the bus didn't wrap really like just felt incomplete,
well, the bus
and so
the
yeah,
bus wrapped the next episode.
Right.
It wasn't a whole season, and then the following episode had another like 2-parter project. So like it seems to be like you gotta if you want to see
you
the
get
full
half, you
product,
get the next half later.
it's definitely it's pretty fun. Anyone else got any other updates? Have we talked about?
limited series Chernobyl on HBO? Must watch.
Ooh,
Highest rated TV show on IMDb, and it's well deserved.
interesting. Okay.
There's no naysayers on this podcast for that show.
No, it's excellent.
Do we ever talk about the challenge finale? I feel
I
like
was gonna say I watched the challenge reunion.
oh, okay.
Yikes.
I don't think we've talked about our reaction to the finale. I think the last we left off was after we watched part 1 We did a quick update, but we didn't really get into it.
That's
Yeah.
what I was saying. I don't think we talked about it.
Turbo. Big Turbo.
Yeah.
Domain.
Spoilers.
Turbo Man.
I don't know if we have much else to say about it, but Harrison watched the reunion show. What
I
happened
mean,
there?
like, yeah. I mean, I thought it was a really good season. It was a hard finale. Like, again, they actually kind of made the final pretty hard this time. Yeah, the reunion was not great. I would say it was 2 hours long.
What idiot hosted it again?
The Miz.
This time it was The Miz and Lolo Jones, who we know from Champs versus.
How was she the Miz? I'm not a Miz fan. Like,
Miz is so bad.
They should have brought back Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler was great last season. The Miz not as great, I would say. But, apparently so there was this like Reddit thread from somebody who was like at the reunion, and apparently like to get like this 2 hour special they put on TV, they shot for like 14 hours. Like they literally were interviewing these people on stage for like 14 fucking hours.
I'm tired just thinking about it.
Can you
now.
imagine being on that stage and then just like literally people fighting about fights that they had on Twitter like for like 14 hours?
No,
That's
'cause,
God
nuts.
damn.
I don't think that much was happening. Like, that's just because they were searching for content. If you just put fights on, like, fine, whatever.
It's crazy.
There's a
dude.
lot of like backstage kind of Twitter like fights going on.
Oh yeah, and the reunion unfortunately mostly focused on like all the social media
all the
fights
social
that have
media
been
stuff that
happening.
you just don't give a fuck
It's terrible.
about. It's terrible. I have to say overall about the challenge season as a whole,
Yeah,
I don't like the like switch from teams to singles. I didn't like that.
it was very good in teams.
I didn't like the way that they keep trying to extend these seasons for like no reason. Just end the season, start a new one. Like just fucking do it. Don't. It's so annoying.
I don't know. I feel like we fall into that trap too.
What trap?
Just end the season already.
Your
Chris.
seasons are
we
too
got so
long.
many episodes in a
Yeah,
season.
yeah, we got a lot of episodes. It's
He's
fine. I'm not. We're not trying to get millions of people to listen to our podcast.
Yeah, I
but
mean, like at some point, there's a calculation that someone does on like how much money they don't make if they make one less episode of that show, and they just make
I'm just
that
saying
extra
that then
episode.
playing it better. Like, okay, well,
Yeah.
if you need more episodes, keep them teams. Don't just be like, we need another 10 episodes, so let's make them singles.
Stretch it out.
So like, I didn't like that. But I like the motif in the desert. The desert was really cool setting for them. They get like really set a good tone for like difficult challenges. It seems like very like Mad Max kind of tone that they were going for. Worked out really well, and
I
also
agree.
really helped with the finale. The finale being like in the desert really was cool. I hope they stay there. I think that they found a really cool place to
It's
be.
a good setting for the challenge.
The other thing I didn't like, well, I liked for the first half of the show was like they always had a challenge and an elimination. Like you need to, like a sane show, and then they like kind of stopped doing it. And that
Well, they just flipped it around at some point.
Yeah.
Thanks to the BK challenge.
no, I agree because like I think I was discussing with both Brian
I mean,
and
we've
Chris,
brought it up before.
and like at some point, like I was starting to really like that format, and then they flipped it around, and I'm like, damn it, you really realize how much you miss it because it would resolve, and you would find like on the cliffhanger, you watch the first 3 minutes of the next episode, and you're content, and you don't need to watch the rest of it. And in fact, I started doing that as I was watching on DVR recorded episodes. Because like it would annoy me way too far too much.
I mean, there's something that feels good about consistency and predictability in the episodes.
Well, it's just like I want to end the episode. Like, give me the conclusion and then let me be done with that segment. Like, I've just watched it for 20 minutes.
yeah, the cliffhangers are no.
Like, don't give me the cliffhanger where like literally all it is a reveal in the first 2 minutes of the next episode.
Yeah.
Stupid.
I mean, there's a reason why I think Survivor is a better show, and one of them is because they're consistent. They don't do this cliffhanger thing. So, like, I don't understand why they do it. I don't get it.
I agree. I don't get it.
So
MTV.
hopefully
What the
next
hell?
season, they'll do the same thing. I don't know. It's still kind of like a side TV. I watch it to talk about it with you guys. Like, it's not one of the things that I really enjoy. So. And then we'll stay there.
All right, there you go.
And it will stay there.
It will stay there as long as the producers don't produce the show in a good way. Like, I don't,
Keep it there.
Yeah.
anyone else got any other updates or?
This was 2 or 3 weeks ago, but Veep actually wrapped up the series on
series
HBO.
finale?
Yeah, really good show, especially the last season. They got even more blue collar, coarser in their jokes, and it's fucking awesome. So highly recommend if anyone's not watched it. Great show to binge watch.
Okay.
I watched a little bit, but not too much. All right. Well, you can find us on Twitter at Who Put This On. You can find us on Facebook.com/Who Put This On. You can email us questions and suggestions at whoputthison@gmail.com. And we'll see you guys next time.
Who is John Taffer and what does he do?